Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Doing something a little bit different this time. I ended up running the ARCA race previously. If you haven't watched that one, make sure you go check it out. It's a pretty good one. But no, I decided to try it again because I was really enjoying this track with this car. I know there's a lot of varying opinions on it with it being too tight, but I was able to figure out pretty decent. So I ended up running it again, didn't record it, but it was a pretty exciting one, so decided to do a little voiceover post-recording from the replay that I saved through just iRacing's replay. So this is my qualifying lap that I ran. Ended up actually starting on the pole for this one. I was the eight car out of a 21 car field, so pretty close to almost smack dab in the middle. But yeah, it was a pretty good one, pretty fun. So gonna send it over to the start of the race and do some more voiceover for you guys. Coming to the green, start on pole. Wasn't the best of starts. I don't know if I just hit my shifts a little bit wrong or what, but ended up letting the guy on the outside get around me. And then I think right here we see a bit of a stack up about to happen. Maybe it's coming out of two here. But yeah, the guy in that 10 car into the wall, I leave him plenty of space. And yeah, there's that big wreck behind us. And so, if you, like I said, if you didn't go watch my previous video, that's a pretty good representation of how my race went. Basically exactly the same. We hit the 21 cars, working to our outside. I'm kind of just letting him go, I think, here. Not trying to fight too much. And then at this point, I'm kind of losing the draft. So kind of cut a little bit to the inside wall, try and break the draft as much as I can, and then I'll tuck back in line here once this 10 car gets around me as well, I think. But kind of just riding. Really now we've kind of separated ourselves from any trouble behind us. You know, that big wreck took out a good majority of the field, and so now it's just, let's try and settle in, let's try and ride, let's try and save up as much tire as we possibly can. Obviously the draft has been pretty big with these races, but these cars are already tight as they are, and so with that, you ended up burning up the right front pretty quick with these races, and you know, if you don't kind of protect that right front by the end of the race, you're really going to start to lose some pace. And for those that kind of protected their tires, they can really start to make up some good ground towards the end of the race. So that's what my hope is here. At this point, you know, I'm super content. Riding around in fourth, not doing too much harm to the tires, taking it easy, using the draft down the long stretches. No one's really snaking like I thought they would, and so we're kind of just all holding steady, kind of just easing into the corners, coasting through, trying to make sure you hit that apex, get as low as you can. Really, you can almost get all into that little concrete curb. It can upset the car a little bit, but it does also help the car turn if you hit it right. As we see the leader trying to snake, trying to break the draft, not let that 21 car pull up to him. Cars behind us are starting to fight for position a little bit, but they get it sorted out. Again, we're just still kind of riding along with this 10. He seems to be a bit off pace, but we're still close enough into the draft with those front two, where there's really not much to worry about. I think the car behind me, he's starting to get a little bit impatient. I'm assuming he's going to want to try and make a move here shortly, especially with these leaders. They had an issue somewhere. They got stacked up, so the 10 car is going to dive it low. 86 is going to dive it low on me. I'm not even going to mess with it. My hope here is he'll go throw some more dive bombs on the cars in front of us, and I'll just follow him through as we see him look to the inside of the 10 here. I believe he should get to his inside into the corner. No, the 10 held the outside line pretty good. And so now that I'm starting to get some pressure from the 13 behind me. He checks up nice for us. And again, we're starting to get single filed out here again. And as I say that, 13 looks inside, but he's not going to have any sort of run to really do anything, so he just tucks back in behind us. So at this point, you know, again, I'm super happy with how it's going. This seems to be a pretty clean pack. There hasn't been much, you know, kind of beating and banging. We're all just staying in line, and, you know, when they get a run, they'll peek out and look, but it's been nothing too egregious, nothing too aggressive. As we see the 86 push the 10 up through the inside, give him a bit of a boost, allow him to get to the inside of the 88, and as he almost goes into the wall, almost loses it on exit. Now the 86 going around the 10 to the outside. He should get a good run, so I'm going to follow him through on the outside and see if we can capitalize on the 10 as well, but unable to do so, so he checks back up in line. The 13's been taking some peeks on some of these corner entries, but he hasn't really kind of felt aggressive enough, or maybe just didn't have a good enough run to really throw it in on us. As we see some more side-by-side battling in front of us. And so we're still just riding around, you know, staying in line. 10's trying to break a lever to the draft. And so we're going to stay towards the outside wall with the 86. Try and wrap that bottom as nicely as possible. Again, following in line with the 86. As the front two now are starting to pull away with all this side-by-side that we're doing. It's definitely slowing us down a bit. And so, you know, really at this point, we want to just try and stay single file. The two guys in front of us get side by side, let them slow themselves down and allow us to catch back up. But they don't seem to be doing that too much, as we seem to get a pretty good run here on the front stretch. Using the draft. Again, not going to be much to do with, but we are closing ourselves up back to those 2 leaders. But still, I mean, this is, at this point, pretty boring stretch of the race. You know, nothing too exciting happening here, but, you know, when this field gets this spread out at a track this big, it's hard to have much excitement, as now we see the two front guys start to go for a change for the lead, and that definitely slowed them up a bit. I think the 88 was able to get around the 21. I'm not sure who was leading before that, but now we're starting to all kind of bunch back up. So the 88 is trying to snake. 21 follows him through, and then they tuck back in line. The 10's got a run. Not sure if he's going to try and throw it on the inside. He does not. We all stay single file through turn 1. Got a guy coming out of pit road. Must have had some issues. And again, you know, still just single file, riding around. I'm not even sure what lap we're on at this point. It feels like maybe close to halfway. And so pretty soon here, people start getting a little bit antsy, trying to work their way to the lead, and hopefully try and pull away. Front guys trying to snake, trying to break the draft. It ends up backfiring them because everyone else stayed in line. The 10 car is able to push the 21 to the lead. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to hold on to it. Around the outside, still door to door. Can he get him clear here out of 2? Where's the 10 going to go? 10's going to stay low. But I believe everyone's probably going to roll up to the top. That should push the 21 through. And it does. So that was a free spot for us. The 88 ends up dropping back pretty far there. As we now try and look to the inside of the 86. They're side-by-side battling up front of us now, so gonna slow them up a bit. We're going to try and use the draft, let these guys stay side by side. We're going to stay on the outside here with the 21. And most likely you're going to lift here a little bit earlier in the corner. Try and just get as low as possible, get to the bottom. Caught a little bit of a curb, upset the car a little bit. Was afraid of hitting the wall like the 21 did. Could just be a little bit of prediction code. We're going to try to get this inside, but I missed the corner. Leave them room on the outside. You guys can probably barely see it, but we're 3 wide. Going to try and tuck back in here behind the 21. As the 86 is still on the far outside. But they are both too high, especially the 86 is 3 lanes up. That's not going to work for him. You'll be able to try and clear him here in 4. And we do. So now we've worked our way up to 3rd now. The lead pack car is trying to break the draft. Kind of wrap the bottom here. Had to baby the throttle a little bit. But with this, what I'm really trying to do here is give up a little bit of entry speed and really capitalize on the exit. With as long as these front stretch and back stretches are, that's where you're really going to make up the most time. And so with these, it's really about setting up the exit pass, not so much the entry pass. Just with the exit, if you can get a better run, you can work your way to their inside or the outside, and hopefully have them clear by the next corner. You know, if you try and send it in on the inside on the entry, oftentimes you're just not going to be able to get it to stick. You're not going to have the exit angle unless they really kind of just give it to you. So here's what I'm trying to do there. Check up a little bit earlier, get a little bit low, try and get a good exit speed, and then have the draft here down the front. I think it's the back stretch. On the back stretch. Again, lift a little bit early, let them dive in deep as the 21 does and completely misses the corner. So I'm going to try to really get to his inside and then get him clear here coming out of 4. I caught a lot of curb, upset the car, got it loose, but we were able to make that pass. As now we are looking forward to the leader to see if we can capitalize and get our way up to P1. Gaining some time on him through the corners here. He seems to be a bit off pace. He's struggling to get to the bottom. Close to the wall. He doesn't quite go out there, but he had to lift a little bit, it seems. We're going to have a run here on the back stretch. Just trying to show him my nose here. Not really thinking about going for it. Trying to make him just make the mistake. He does a decent job. He's able to get below that white line like you want to see. Allows you to really wrap that corner. We're going to back up the entrance. And then again, try and get a good exit here. But he does a pretty decent job. So I'm not going to be able to have much coming down this front stretch. Coming up to lap 15 here. So really counting it down. We got about 6 to go. He misses the bottom in turn 1. Gives me a good run here through this little short chute. Try and cut down the exit. Get a good run. He nearly clips the wall again. He's trying to break the draft, but again, it's got to follow him. Doesn't do a whole lot there. Gonna lift a little bit early. Do a little throttle play. He misses that corner completely. So this is going to give us a good run to try and set up a pass here on the front stretch. Caught a lot of curb. Didn't upset the car too much. He's going to try and break the draft. Just going to let him have it. Slowly work our way and try and grab a little bit of it here. We're down to 5 to go now. Try and dive to the bottom. Overdrove it slightly, had to check up, couldn't quite get into the throttle as quick as I wanted to. Same with there. Completely missed the corner, but he missed it way worse than I did. So kind of trying to capitalize on his mistake here as I get a good run on this backstretch. Gonna dive it to the inside. As the guy behind us, I didn't even realize he was still there. This difficult part about these replays, but able to get through the 10 here, able to have him cleared. The 21's gonna try and follow through. He's unable to do so. So he tucks back in line. We are coming up on 4 to go, I believe. I'm gonna try and do some snaking myself here. The 21's gonna push the 10. Wasn't able enough. He's going to try and dive it to the inside. I got to leave him space. But I'm able to get a good run around that outside and able to stay clear of them coming down here on the back stretch. So now at this point, it's just trying to maintain my lead, maintain the gap. They're obviously going to stay within draft range for the most part, but as you can see now, the battles really just come down to us three. Those two guys who were battling for the lead before, or at least the 88. I guess the 21 was up there earlier battling the 88. But the 88's kind of fallen off. The 21's been able to hang on a bit. Again, some more snaking. He's trying to just break the draft as much as possible, even if it's just for a split second or two, just to not allow him to kind of get that draft on those long stretches and be able to pull up to us. So trying to just hit our marks here. As the 21 looks below the 10, which is what I want to see. Let them get side by side. They're going to slow each other up. Unfortunately, it wasn't for too long. So now the 21 is going to try and work his way back up to the lead that he had before. As we're coming up now to 2 to go. So at this point, you know, I'm starting to sweat. The nerves are kicking a little bit. But I know if I can just hit my marks, keep it clean, don't blow any corners, I should be able to hold him off. He's within a good 2/10, I believe here, 3/10. So he has quite a bit of draft. But I've also noticed him in the 10 car as well miss a lot of corners. And so as long as I have my room to back up the corner entry a little bit and still focus on exit, I can drive away and pull away on the stretches as he misses the bottom there. We're coming out of 4 now, I believe. We're coming up to the white flag from Barney. 4 more corners to go. 4 more mistakes I don't want to make as Barney's waving an invisible flag. Don't know where it's at. So again, just trying to stay clean. All it takes is one little mistake, whether I'm in the wall or I completely blow a corner, and allow him to get a good run on us. So that corner wasn't the cleanest. Again, snaking down this back stretch for one final time. Trying to lift kind of right where the safer barrier kicks out. I was pretty happy with that corner. It wasn't the smoothest, but it could have been way worse. Try and drive it in here, gets to the bottom. Great exit, and here it's just a run to the finish. Coming down the front stretch for one final time as Barney waves the invisible checkered flag. We're going over the bricks. P1, able to hold it off. What a turn of events from the first ARCA race that I ran. So I was super happy with that. That was, I never go into any race expecting to win. Never. But after practice, and what I was able to kind of lay down lap-wise, and then just to have that first race get destroyed, was it the first corner of lap 2? I just had to try and get some redemption and see what I could accomplish. So, yeah, super happy with that. Again, this is something new. I'm kind of doing a voiceover like this. I don't know if I ended up doing better because I wasn't trying to, commentate through the race, or maybe I just for once didn't have any bad luck. But again, if this is something you enjoyed, let me know. We can always try doing some more of these here in the future. But yeah, we'll call it there, and I will catch you on the next one.